Hey guys, Thunder E here, and welcome to our trailer analysis of the Batman v Superman trailer number 2. So there's a lot of stuff we saw in the trailer yesterday. You saw my reaction. I was really excited about stuff. We got to see Doomsday, we got to see more Lex, all that fun stuff. So we're going to break down the trailer. I'll tell you what I think is happening in some of these scenes, how it connects to other scenes, as well as how it shows the movie overall. We'll discuss Doomsday also, because that's the big discussion for the day. And let's go ahead and hit play. So the scene starts off with a gala, and the first thing you notice is Bruce Wayne comes in, and that's a Bentley. He's driving an old Bentley, 69 I think. I could be very wrong. But what's interesting about the scene is that this is the same gala scene that we see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in trailer number 1. She's getting into a car and leaving. So she will be in this scene. And to me, this scene is early in the movie when Bruce and Clark meet for the first time. So that's very interesting here because, you know, Bruce Wayne comes in. So Clark asks, who's that? And he's like, must be new. So I don't think that's Jimmy Olsen. Or maybe it is. That's the first thing to know. Second thing, Clark doesn't know who Bruce Wayne is. He is the richest guy in DC Universe, or second richest, whatever the case may be. It's two things. Either Clark really doesn't know or just didn't know whose car that was, or Clark doesn't really care. And since he's been traveling the world and all this time, he just didn't pay attention. So this is the first interaction between both characters in the movie, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent. And Bruce Wayne introduces himself, Clark introduces himself to Bruce Wayne, and he asks him about the Bat Vigilante in his city. And then we get that smirk. It's like, you little twerp. Very good interaction. I love it. I love the fact that you can see Ben Affleck really is embracing this older Bruce Wayne, and he's like, this young guy doesn't know anything. And then we get this dialogue between both of them with various scenes from other trailers, the previous trailer. So this is a scene where Clark is doing a voiceover talking about how this Bat Vigilante is running amok, civil liberties are being oppressed, and you know, he thinks, you know, he's a one-man army, you know, that kind of thing. So it's nice here because he talks about how the Daily Planet, you know, is, you know, criticizes other people as being hypocritical, and we saw the starkness, the stark difference between Metropolis, which is, you can see all bright here, and this is Gotham. You know, it's dark, and that's what we're probably going to see throughout the whole movie in terms of those two cities. And you can see, it looks like Metropolis already built up again, and you can sense the resentment in Bruce Wayne, and he's talking about, as he refers to Superman, he's going to refer to him as an alien that can burn everyone or destroy the whole place. Talks about, you know, how they write fluff pieces about him saving cats from trees. Those kind of things where are very, you know, it goes back to all the different mythos of Superman as well as Batman. And of course, you know, Clark, of course, doesn't agree, but you can sense the tension already is building with the scene. So he says maybe it's the Gotham me that has a bad history of accepting freaks dressed as clowns. And he kind of gives this stare down at Clark. Does he know he's Superman yet? Or is it just something where, you know, he's just sizing him up, so to speak. There's a lot of tension, and we get Lex. So Lex has hair here. Lex will lose his hair. We know that. This is Lex Luthor Jr. So this is the son of Lex. This is a younger Lex. Basically, in age, Batman's oldest. Clark Kent is second, Superman is second in age, and Lex is probably the youngest in age. But you hear the contempt when, of course, Bruce Wayne shakes Lex's hand, It's like Lex. And then, of course, Lex basically comes in and shakes Clark. And when he taps him, it's like, ooh, strong, strong grip, or, pretty strong guy. This is a guy you shouldn't get in a fight with. This is kind of like it has a double meaning where basically saying, again, both of you shouldn't be fighting, but I guess you will in that sense. And then we get, the intro, we get some scenes that come together. So this is part of that scene that we think is a dream sequence. I'm not sure anymore because of some other things we see later on, where Superman comes in, walks towards, of course, Bruce, Batman, with Superman soldiers. And then Lex, of course, is doing his own voiceover here. We see the scene at court. Lex, of course, giving some more commentary. And then we see Alfred giving some voiceover here saying, we're going to go to war with him. He's not our enemy. That line we've heard before. But we also get to see Metropolis through Bruce Wayne's perspective of what happened with the fight with General Zod. And you can see that here. So they give us that perspective here. Other things you notice is the colors have changed. It's a little brighter. The red's a little sharper. Even the yellow stands out more from the Superman emblem. So he even says that Superman brought the war to us. So he's really taking this very personal, that Superman's introduction is going to create more and more havoc fully. And we see again the other side of that destruction as Wayne Tower goes down. And then we see, of course, Superman and Batman, square off. Superman is behind fire. Batman's in his metal armor. And he looks pretty good. Alfred's also giving some more commentary saying you can't win this. This looks pretty good. It looks still looks a little bit like it's a video game, but it looks pretty nice and shiny. I like it, it's fine. And then we have this here. So that's Batman holding a rifle, and that's probably kryptonite laced because he's trying to stop him. Now, some people are like, why is Batman using a rifle? If Batman would have to use something kryptonite based to fight Superman, let's just be practical. And he's done it in the comic book, so do not complain. We see him here with his armor, eyes lit up, which is pretty awesome. Superman flies up and punches him down. Alfred said this is suicide. We see the Batwing fly in, and there's that massive destruction outside the city. And this is where probably that fight with final fight takes place. So we see Superman flying in. I think this is the fight with Doomsday, as we see, and we hear Lex talking. Best gladiator match in the history of the world between, of course, Batman and Superman. Batman is firing, of course, from his Batwing. It looks like it's firing at Superman, but I think this is the Batmobile here firing at Superman because he's on the ground. And then he goes up. He's still fired up, but you can see the angle is going from down up. So this is the Batmobile firing at him, not the Batwing. The Batwing is probably firing at Doomsday at that point. So we see Superman here. And so that is a very good line from Lex. That's a really Lex line. Talking about how 3 Simple Word is too big for simple minds. And I think that's a purely Lex line. And we're going to see that. Now, some people are saying Lex comes off a little bit too hokey. I think he does come off a little bit in this trailer, but I think that's intentional. I think the Lex we will see might not be as hokey as you. I think he will have his hokey parts, but not something that's going to be through and through. So we see more of the fight scene with Batman with Superman. And this is pretty cool. I love the scene where the Batman kind of just, does a power slide into Superman. It's where he starts shooting at him, I think. And he's talking about what it means to be a man. You can see here, Batman's laying a beating on Superman with, of course, his armored suit, probably some kryptonite lacing on there. Now, this is the most interesting part here. This, I thought, initially was going to be a dream sequence. But then, these look like parademons. These creatures look like parademons from Apocalypse. You don't know parademons. Those are the spawn of Apocalypse. Now, rumor is that Apocalypse is going to be the villain in Justice League. And this looks like it. Now, I do feel that it still might be a dream sequence or a vision, and some people have talked about maybe it's a vision from Wonder Woman or something like that. Maybe this is why Wonder Woman is here, because there's something bigger coming, and it's not this. This is why she jumps in to help. So that could be the case. I'm not sure how this plays exactly in the movie, but definitely now, the more I watch it, the more I think that these are parademons and not just a dream sequence. So that's something to take note. The explosion, the Superman in the background. We see Batman here sliding on the floor, and Superman says, "Stay down. If I wanted to, I would have killed you already." And then we see, of course, General Zod's body being brought up by Mercy. We see Lex here. I think we're going to get more of a scientific Lex, business scientific Lex, but not the pure businessman. So this is actually an older version of Lex, if you want it, because Lex was a scientist at some points in the comic book. So that's something that's always been there, just so you guys know. And then we see the creation of something, most likely Doomsday, close to the Superman statue. And basically Lex is saying that if man won't kill God, then the devil will do it. Now, God referring to Superman, man being Batman, and he tried to pit them against each other, didn't work. And then, which means Lex now takes things to a different point, which is why I think Lex isn't working alone. So even though the way the trailer has been mashed up together, it looks like it's just a straight plot, I think what happens is that Batman meets Superman, they fight the first time because of Lex manipulation, things don't go down the way he thinks, and here Superman's confronting Lex. This is also the scene where, because you see the outfit here, this is where Superman kind of bows down in front of Lex. Don't know why that is, but that thing will come into play. But also what you do have here is that he says that, maybe the devil will. Now, to me, the devil is referring to his creation, which is Doomsday. This looks like the creation egg or shell, or the Kryptonian stasis. Now, remember, they still have a lot of that Kryptonian tech. So he probably put him in that growth chamber for Doomsday. But what is interesting is, I think that is a portal. I could be wrong. It may not be. There's tentacles coming out. Looks like it's from the growth chamber itself, but I think it's also a portal, it could be a boom tube. I could be very wrong. But I think he is. I have a feeling that there's some dark side influence working here. After seeing those parademons and looking at this, that it looks like it's coming out of a portal. It should just be the lightning around. But then Superman says, "What have we done?" We get a roar, and boom, Doomsday. So we have Doomsday. This is what Doomsday looks like. Some people say it looks like Abomination. Some people it looks like Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the look of Doomsday. I get it. I think they were trying to blend some of Michael Shannon into Doomsday because he's going to be made from Zod. So it's not necessarily Doomsday, the purest form of Doomsday. What I would like to see is more of the bone claws come out more. I'm hearing that it might, because we've heard from El Mayimbe that the bone claws do regrow when he fights Wonder Woman, because she cuts off the bone claws. So we will see that. But we see him here, and Batman is basically, his plane is crashed, and it's like, oh shit. And you see him about to fire, of course, heat vision from his eyes as well as mouth. And Batman thinks it's all over. Boom, explosion, and out of nowhere, Superman and Wonder Woman save him. And this is probably the best thriller intro for Wonder Woman. I mean, her shield looks great, her costume looks great. Her pose there is like she comes in and she's like, yeah, I know she really comes as a powerhouse. I was absolutely stunned by this whole scene. Visually looks great. We'll see how it translates with her acting in terms of the scene. But I like Gal Gadot. I think she was good in Fast and Furious. And then one of the best lines in the trailer, Superman asks, "Is she with you?" And then Batman turns around and is like, "I thought she was with you," with his bat voice. And this kind of brings both of them together in a very different light. And of course, we get the Trinity standing here. Now, a couple of things to note about this scene is, okay, Superman standing there. You can see Wonder Woman has her shield and sword, which of course are magic based, which should be able to cut Doomsday because, of course, Superman and all Kryptonians, magic affects them. And then Batman is holding the same rifle that he had, I think, earlier, and I think that has some kryptonite bullets or something that should be able to slow him down. So this is why they all come together, because Superman needs the help of these two. And also, again, this is more of Lex pushing things to the limit. So overall, I like the trailer. I like the trailer a lot. I agree with people. I think they should have hinted at Doomsday and not necessarily shown him all outright. I think they should have shown like hid vision, and then we see Superman and Wonder Woman just block it and not showing Doomsday. Maybe hear the roar, but not show it. So I think that's something that they might have made a mistake in the trailer, but I still like it. Some people saying that we've seen too much. I think we haven't. I think there's still a lot to see. I think there's some underlying connections. We're going to see, of course, Aquaman, Green Lantern 2, The Flash. All of them are here in this movie. We haven't seen them yet in the trailer. So I think we are. Hopefully we don't get another trailer until this movie drops. I don't care. Just don't even show me anything anymore. You can drop like TV spots of just different aspects, but don't show another trailer again. So I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this whole breakdown, the trailer? Do you like this kind of video? What are your thoughts on the trailer itself, all the different aspects and how they all connect? Let me know. Don't forget to like and share this video, favorite this video, subscribe to the channel, and always enjoy your entertainment.